Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Mark Alford's Capital Recap. I'm your Congressman, Mark Alford, coming to you from our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. I'm actually in my office here today at 328 Cannon. If you're ever in D.C., please come by and visit. Would love to meet you and hear some of your concerns. I want to take you behind the scenes of what has been happening in D.C. this week. First off, let's talk about what's happening on the House floor with our legislation. Have you heard of the Deterrent Act? Like to deter something. This is called the Deterrent Act. And this bill really aims to prevent foreign adversaries, our enemies like Communist China, from influencing our institutes of higher learning, our colleges and universities. So this bill from my colleague, Congressman Michael Baumgartner of Washington, brings a lot of needed things like transparency, accountability. It brings a lot of clarity to foreign gift reporting requirements for colleges and universities across the nation. You may not realize this, but a lot of colleges and universities get gifts from foreign countries. They come in the form of cash, they come in the form of gifts, and we need accountability. We need to know who is giving our colleges and universities gifts and money and why, and that needs to have some transparency to it. It's pretty a straightforward concept. Let's start that over. It's a pretty straightforward concept, right? Just making sure that countries like China and Iran don't have a hand in shaping what our kids learn, don't have an influence in that. And it seems like common sense. I think it is. However, there's been a lot of debate around it. Protecting our children's education from foreign influence should be a priority for each and every one of us. So let me get into the specifics of this bill, the Deterrent Act. It closes the reporting loopholes. It gives transparency to Congress and intelligence agencies and to you, the public. So this information is going to be out there. You'll be able to access it on a website. It slashes the foreign gift reporting threshold for colleges and universities from $250,000. Right now, China can give in a university in our area $250,000 and not have to report it, or the college wouldn't have to report it. We're going to bring that down to $50,000. That's reasonable. Even a stricter zero threshold for countries and or what are called countries or entities of concern. So, countries like China, Iran, our foreign adversarial nations, Venezuela, it'll be anything over zero will have to be reported. It also requires the disclosure of foreign gifts and contracts to individual staff and faculty at research-heavy institutions, really to protect those targeted the most by spies and our adversaries. So maybe some research is going on at one of the universities, and China or Iran or Venezuela, they give gifts to those on staff or faculty helping lead that research. Well, those gifts are meant to influence, and we don't want that type of influence in our nation. It also holds our largest private institutions accountable for their financial partnerships by revealing concerning foreign investments in their endowments. And last, it really puts in a series of repercussions for colleges and universities that don't follow the plan, that are non-compliant in reporting these. There's going to be fines. There's going to be the loss potentially of Title IV funding. It's going to have an impact. It's going to have teeth in this bill to make sure the transparency is there. Here's what some of my colleagues who led this bill had to say about it on the House floor. Take a listen.
Indeed, there are many wonderful things that happen on American university campuses, but there are also some nefarious and concerning issues on American campuses that deal with foreign adversaries. Indeed, Mr. Chairman, the numbers do not lie. Foreign adversaries have poured billions into American universities, and much of it remains hidden from public view. In just 2 universities alone, congressional investigators uncovered nearly $40 million in unreported research contracts tied to the Chinese Communist Party. Nearly 30% of disclosed foreign funding lacked even basic details, like contract dates or intended purpose. And current regulations permit anonymous giving. These are not clerical errors. This is a systemic failure, one that has left our institutions wide open to foreign influence with real consequences for American society. Let's be clear. Every dollar from an adversarial nation comes with strings attached. Expectations about what gets taught, which research gets funded, and who gets hired or silenced.
Imagine our esteemed universities, pillars of free thought and innovation, quietly channeling millions of investments into what are linked with Chinese Communist Party, Russian oligarchies, and Iranian regimes. While our students learn about democracy and liberty, the tuition dollars may be funding governments that stand against these very ideals. This isn't hypothetical, it's happening. Since 2013, U.S. colleges and universities have received over $1 billion from Chinese Communist Party affiliated sources. In return, we've seen professors silenced, students groups threatened, and our intellectual property stolen. At the same time, these institutions, many which proudly divest from fossil fuels and boycott Israel, are more than willing to accept foreign funding from adversaries who seek to undermine our nation. The Deterrent Act is our line in the sand. It demands transparency and accountability from higher education. If universities are entangled with foreign adversaries, the American people deserve to know. I'm proud that my reporting on investments in foreign adversaries RIFA Act is included in this legislation. The RIFA Act ensures private colleges and universities disclose whether they are investing their endowments in hostile nations like China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. These financial partnerships should not be hidden from the public. For far too long, we've allowed educational institutions to become conduits for foreign influences. Administrators on taxpayer dime have given repressive regimes easy access to our students, turned their backs on the very freedoms they claim to uphold. This betrayal must stop. And I must make clear, profit over patriotism, profit over American values, and profit over American culture is traitorous betrayal. The Deterrent Act takes critical steps to safeguard our institutions, protect our students, and preserve American values. We must not allow profit to overshadow patriotism. It's time to reclaim our universities and secure our future. I urge my colleagues to vote yes on this legislation. Thank you, and I yield back.
Now I want to talk about HJ Resolution 24. It is dealing with energy conservation standards, all right? A lot of people think, what is the big deal? Well, the federal government under Biden and all these crazy over-regulations has really tried to tell you what kind of refrigerator you could have, what kind of dishwasher, what kind of washing machine. Big Brother trying to tell you what to do and what you can buy. We are reversing that. This resolution really addresses and repeals certain energy regulations that some say, and I say it, they're overreaching. They're a big burden to you. They add costs to the product. The goal, we're really trying to find a balance between promoting energy efficiency and making sure that the regulations don't put an undue strain on you, the consumer, and the businesses and add to the cost of that. Look, we all need to be good stewards of God's creation. I've been preaching that for years, but we don't need the federal government telling you how to do that. You should have choices in what you want to buy when you go to Home Depot or Lowe's. It's all about choices in those appliances. Well, folks, stay with us. When we come back, we get a lot of crazy calls, especially now from the left woke Democrats who want to call our office and harass our employees. You're going to hear actually some of their crazy phone calls. We have had to do a lot of work bleeping out the curse words, but you won't want to miss this when we come back. You're listening to Mark Alford's Capitol Recap. Welcome back to Mark Alford's Capitol Recap, where we take you behind the scenes of what's happening in Washington, D.C. and in Missouri's 4th Congressional District. Well, let's get into some very interesting voicemails that we've been getting and how we honored amazing folks and businesses in Missouri's 4th while we were in Washington this week. Now, let's talk about the current state of the Democrat Party. They are unhinged, folks. If you have not noticed, they have no vision, no message, and no leader, and they are like a drowning victim out in the deep end. They are flailing around, and they are willing to take anyone down who tries to come out to rescue them. Not that we want to rescue them. We do want to rescue America from their crazy progressive woke ideas, and that's exactly what President Trump is doing. Look, they are scared, they are frightened, and they're taking it out on staff members for all the congressional members. They are calling our offices, loading up our voicemails with crazy, insane, insightful, hateful messages, and our staff really are having to deal with these people and not really able to deal with the constituents who really need help. Help in returning Social Security benefits, help in returning VA benefits and disability benefits. So I wanted to give you a listen to some of these crazy phone calls. This is not to make fun of anyone, but I want to give you an idea of what our staff, mainly young people, are having to deal with. Sometimes in live situations, people are coming to our office and saying these hateful things, screaming at our staff. Look, we're not going to tolerate that. We're going to ask you to leave. If you act like this on a phone call, we're going to hang up on you. Some people leave messages, though, and here they are. Listen.
I'll tell you what, son of a bitch. You keep on the way you are trying to do now, but by the time Trump gets in, if you thought Charlottesville was big the last go-around, you cops are in for a real ride, you We're not going to tolerate your So if I were you, I'd start looking over my shoulder.
Can you believe that? Look, we are here every day of the week, except for Saturday and Sunday, every weekday working for you because I have always considered you a client. You're not just a constituent. We serve 772,047 individuals, Republicans, Democrats, Independents. It doesn't matter what party. We are here to help you. And I don't care what your political stance is, really. Our office is here to make sure that you get the benefits that you deserve. And hey, look, I am always ready and willing to talk to you in person if you want to make an appointment to greet any of you in our D.C. office or our 4th District offices. We have 3 of those, one in Raymore, one in Lebanon, and one in Columbia. But it makes it really tough to have a meaningful and proactive conversation where we can exchange information and ideas if someone is yelling and cursing and threatening you. And unfortunately, that's what these public meetings have boiled down to. And it's not just paid protesters. I'm not falling down that trap. I realize there are some angry constituents, but you cannot get anything accomplished by yelling at one another. Look, we have town halls. We're doing them online. We're going to address some 40,000 constituents this year using online town halls. We're hoping to do our town hall tour again this August. We did, in the 2.5 years that I've been in Congress, we have had 92 public meetings, forums, coffees, town halls. I love talking to people. I love talking to people who don't agree with me. Maybe I can win you over. Maybe you can win me over. Everyone needs to be listened to. But in order to have a conversation, you also have to listen. It's not a one-sided deal. On one more positive note, President Trump is delivering on his promises. Americans are actively seeing a decrease in egg and gas prices. After months of high costs, these reductions, they're offering some relief for us, right? For you hardworking families out there, households all over our nation. Right now, Missouri, gas was down to $2.79 from what it was a year ago. It was $3.21. So a year ago, $3.21. Now it's $2.79. President Trump is making good on his promises. Promises made, promises kept. I want to take time now to recognize some of the phenomenal folks in our district. As you may know, each month we recognize an incredible veteran and small business of the month. I do it right on the House floor. We have pictures of the folks. If you want to go to our social media website, you can see some of these speeches. Our 4th Congressional District Small Business of the Month is Golden Apple Boutique, owned by Kana Conroe in Fayette, Missouri. That's in Howard County. We were just over there last week. Listen to our House floor speech recognizing this unique small business. Madam Speaker, today we are proud to recognize Gold Apple Boutique, located in the historic district of Fayette, Missouri, as Missouri's 4th Congressional District March Small Business of the Month. Owned by Kara Conroe, Gold Apple Boutique is a shining example of entrepreneurial spirit and community dedication. Kara's passion for business and her desire to build a future for her growing family led her to open this unique shop on Fayette's historic square. I was just in it last week. It is a great store. They're offering fashionable clothing, accessories, and personalized items. Gold Apple Boutique provides a welcoming space where customers find both style and confidence. Kara's success is a testament to the impact of small businesses on local communities and local economies. Her engagement in our U.S. Chamber Roundtable last week highlighted her commitment to strengthening the business community. As spring approaches, Gold Apple's Boutique's latest arrivals are already drawing in excited customers there on the square, proving that small businesses like hers keep our towns vibrant and keep them thriving. So congratulations to Kara Conroe and Gold Apple Boutique on this well-earned recognition, our Small Business of the Month, and thank you for your dedication to Fayette and to making Missouri's small business community thrive. With that, I yield back. Well, thank you for your hard work, Ken. And now we want to let you listen to the impressive career of our Veteran of the Month, Lieutenant Commander Greg Cowan. Here that is. I rise today to honor an outstanding American and our March Veteran of the Month, Lieutenant Commander Greg Cowan, United States Navy, retired from Lebanon, Missouri in Laclede County. Cowan's service to our nation spans more than 2 decades, beginning in 1980 when he enlisted in the Navy. From his early days as an aviation's electronics technician to earning a commission through the Naval ROTC program, his dedication and commitment to our nation never wavered. He served in duty stations across the country and around the world, from Rota, Spain, to Camp Lemonnier in Africa. He deployed multiple times to the CENTCOM areas of operations, serving aboard the USS Comstock, the USS Kitty Hawk, USS Harper's Ferry, and USS Incheon. His leadership as a surface warfare officer was instrumental in ensuring mission success and in training the next generation of warfighters. After retiring in 2024, Lieutenant Commander Cowan's passion for service continued through his dedication to mentoring and teaching others. His career is a testament to the values of duty, honor, and country. Well, folks, I love recognizing veterans and I love recognizing small business owners. They are the fabric of America. 33 million small business owners who are desperately in need of us renewing the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which is going to be part of this reconciliation process. We'll talk more in detail about that next week. I think you're going to see some movement on it, hopefully this week. I am so thankful to be able to work for you and work for Missouri here in Washington, D.C. Also want to remind you about the services that our offices can give you, our constituents. If you ever need any help with any federal government issue, VA benefits, Social Security, our team is here to help you. We have returned more than almost $3.5 million now in money that the federal government was holding on, and it's your money. And we are working for you to reclaim that money. We have a great bench strength of caseworkers in our offices to help you. All the information for how to contact our offices, you can find it right on our website, alford.house.gov. That's alford.house.gov. And also, follow us on social media, please, and sign up for our e-newsletter. It comes out every 2 weeks. You get a complete vision of what we're doing in Washington and in our district. At Rep Mark Alford is our handle on X, Facebook, and Instagram. I want to share just some of the truly life-changing work our team is able to do each week for you. A man named Mr. Dunning contacted our office and had planned to go to the Virgin Islands with his son, and he has terminal cancer, and it's progressing quickly. They didn't think he would live much longer, so he wanted to plan this trip and go on it with his family, and he didn't have an updated passport, so he contacted our office. Maybe you didn't know that we can help you with passport issues. Well, our team worked with the State Department, and Mr. Dunning got his passport just in time to travel on the 20th. Last week, he went to the Virgin Islands with his family. We hope you are having a wonderful time with your sons, Mr. Dunning. Another highlight this week was from Mr. Robert. He needed to get the Social Security, the SSA 1099 for his wife, and she has dementia. Our team was able to track down and get that for him. He sent in a message saying, "Thank you so much. You do great work." Our folks do great work. It's not me, it's our staff. So once again, our website, go there, alford.house.gov. It will direct you to our phone lines and our addresses for our offices. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the honor of a lifetime to work for you here in Washington, D.C. That's it for this edition of Mark Alford's Capital Recap. We will be back next week with another exciting episode. It's an honor to be here in Washington, D.C. this week. And remember, I believe in America. I believe in you, and I believe that our best days are still ahead of us. Good day, and God bless.